Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am back. It's been about 9 months since we finished part 1 of season 2 of Mushoku Tensei, and now we return finally as the season has finished up for part 2 of season 2. This is so cool. There are so many things that are so cool about this, and kind of weird and whatnot, but let's do some basic housekeeping first, and then I'll blather a little bit and we'll get going. But first off, most primary, basicest things, welcome back to Mushoku Tensei, everybody. I'm really excited to be here. I'm also nervous. I'll be totally transparent. I'm also nervous. I'm scared. We've had an on and off again relationship with Mushoku in some ways. I've been consistently engaged and enjoying the show, but there's always so much argument around it. It seems impossible to get away from. So it's got like a mixed taste in a weird way. I don't think that's going to really be a problem moving forward because I'm additionally really excited about the current plot elements that we're about to view. But it has, it's been a while. It's been a real while, and it's good to be back. Most fundamental housekeeping. We're going to start off by watching the Mott Bob MTBB versions. I believe that those will be consistently the best versions for us going forward. If they're not, let me know. The only alternative that I know of is subs, please, or basic Crunchyroll subs, and I think those will probably suck in comparison, so I think I've been making the right move by going with Mott Bob, but tell me if I'm not. Let me know. We'll figure it out. Other housekeeping stuff. Okay, not much. I think I might have actually changed this before I ended Mushoku Tensei, but I think it's worth mentioning anyway. My Patreon has been structured to make it very accessible. That's my intent with it. Almost all of the perks are loaded, and maybe overloaded, I don't know, onto the $1 most accessible tier. Early access to videos, so if you want 1 week early access to Mushoku Tensei, you could have gotten this video a week ago, and you will be getting next videos a week in advance. For $1 a month, that's not bad. As well as access to the Discord, where you can chat about stuff like this show and argue about it in the Mushoku Tensei specific channel and spoilers channels. Or voting access to vote on polls to determine what we watch next, which is going to be coming into play quite soon, because there are a number of shows that we have that are going to end and don't have something spoken for, which has been like the way of things for a little while. For a little while, every show that's ended has kind of had something that's spoken for the slot, including this one. So there hasn't been a lot of polling recently, but I really look forward to getting back on the polling cycle and watching some like one-core shows and charging through them again. Additionally, I think I'm going to be upping my output a little bit over the next few weeks, months, and moving toward maybe like a little bit of a fuller schedule. I've had some motivating events in my life, which maybe we'll talk about in a moment, and I want to make more and also make more. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need it, I want it, and I'm willing to work for it, and I am gonna earn it, and I deserve it, and all that jazz. Yeah, you feel me? I hope so. So, if you feel inclined to do so, or you just want access to the stuff a little bit early, the Patreon is the place to go. That's the spot, and it's greatly and dramatically appreciated. Cool. Rad. Love it. Mushoku Tensei. Man, I think we can move on from like baseline housekeeping toward blather. So let me blather for a moment on a couple of fronts. I will pull up a piece of paper, because my first blather is something that I started doing. I don't think I started doing this in Mushoku Tensei. I started doing drawings at the beginning of each of my videos. And like part of this was a commitment to draw every day or close to it, but it's also just a great way for me to get myself in the headspace of arting and crossing that threshold between words or verbalized thoughts and visualized thoughts. It's weird. It's like pushing this way helps me flow this way as well. Because what I'm doing when I'm watching a show is I'm translating symbols into words and ideas, and then trying to express them as best as I can and how I feel about them, and engage them with all sorts of footnotes and additional content, and then splat them out at the camera. And then doing this at the beginning, where I take my latent ideas about the show and I shotgun them onto a page and like visualize or symbolize them, and then I can talk through what I think those symbols mean, how they flowed out of me, and all that jazz, can really help me sort of get those gears turning. So anyway, I'm going to do a drawing, and I'll do the drawing as we sort of talk through the next bits. So framing, and this is going to be a simple drawing. It's going to be darkness with a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's it. That's all I want to draw here. So it's probably going to end up being quite a bit of scribbling, and that's okay. Now for some blather. It is endlessly remarkable to me, how much and often the shows that I'm watching line up with my real world experience. We've talked about this all the way through Mushoku Tensei, the feelings of it, and you guys, having watched that, toward the end of the first season, watched me fall apart in a way that's quite similar to the way that Rudius did, and overall, there have been some kind of dramatic parallels between my experience and his. I suppose that's unsurprising. Rudius's story, as Rifujin has put it together, is, I don't know what was under here that made that happen. I have no idea. If I go over that space again, will it do it again? No. What the heck? What was there that made that little spiral? Nothing on the desk. No idea. Whack. I shouldn't be surprised by that, because Rifujin is writing a narrative that's meant to be universalizable, right? So, it shouldn't be shocking that Rudius's experiences are vibe-withable, that I can feel them. But it is often surprising to me just how aligned they end up being. So let me tell you something that I think is kind of crazy. The course of our last season of Mushoku Tensei was mostly focused on Rudius's little pee-pee problem, his inability to get erect or experience his libido. But that came from a bunch of internal places and a bunch of external places, and in part from, a lack of possibility with the right people, and from a brokenness that he experienced when he felt so betrayed by Eris. And just a mishmash of various ideas that led to a long dry spell, we might say. I, too, have been in a long dry spell. And to put it in perspective, it's a long one. Maybe some of you will scoff at this and be like, "Ha ha! But child, I am a 30-year-old virgin wizard. Get real, bro." Yeah. Okay, I get it. But it's still been a long dry spell. It's been about 9 years since I was touched intimately, hugged, kissed, held, let alone fucked. 9 years. Essentially, at the end of college, I was pretty focused on not meeting people stuff, on other things. So I didn't really meet people in my last years of college. And then when I left school, I went straight into the workforce and didn't meet anybody. And then when I got disillusioned with the type of work that I was doing, I went straight home. I didn't meet anybody. And I worked remote and online, and I didn't meet anybody. And then I started doing this, making YouTube videos, and I didn't meet anybody. Kept working at home, remote, and not meeting anybody. Went to the gym, met some people, didn't go anywhere. Never a date, never anything like that. Went out to stores and places in town, but everybody there is working at a retail job, so what am I going to do? Flirt with cashiers? Yeah, sure, but hasn't gone anywhere. And also horribly disrespectful, and I'm not actually going to do that. So the point is, for about 9 years, I haven't had any sexual contact, any romantic contact, any prospects, therefore. Been doing okay, been surviving. I can do okay alone. I do well in an isolated circumstance, comparatively, I think. But it's missing. It's been missing. 1 week ago, plus a couple days, I met somebody. And this is where it's a little bit wild. This was not intentional. I knew that Mushoku Tensei was on my docket. But I met somebody, and the person that I met just so happens to be a tiny, green-haired femme, they, them, who's also extremely perverted and kinky, and likes me very much. You see why that's a little funny? I think it's a little funny. But also, we met and hit it off immediately, almost as though we had known each other for a long time before that. And also, mixed in with the lovely beauty of that kind of a meeting. And it is truly a lovely thing. I'm so grateful to have met this person and broken my dry spell, but also to have met the person in general, because it's of great value, and I really look forward to any sort of future with this person. And there is real potential there for me in a way that I didn't know was possible. I didn't realize that I had that I might be willing to be polyamorous, and I think I might be. So that's curious to me. It's just new information. It was lovely. It was really, I cannot express or stress how lovely it was to meet somebody. And they're gone. I guess I said that in a pretty harsh way. They're not fucking dead. There are still opportunities here. They're gone. I met them a week before they had to move home to Northern California to move back in with their parents in somewhat a similar situation to when I was younger and I moved back in with mine. Things fell apart for them down here, and we didn't meet soon enough for me to have any ability to change those things that fell apart, which really sucked. So I realized a few things. One, it's really important for me to have some kind of contact or connection like that. Two, I don't want to be powerless. I'm strong. Internally, psychologically, and physically. I spent a lot of effort building up my mind and my body and my ability to take care of myself, my ability to express, my ability to create value for the world. I spent a lot of time on that. I'm strong, but I'm not powerful. And I realized the difference. One of those things is control of self and the capacity to do things, like mecha maintenance. But the other is a whole different skill set and a different thing to work toward. For a long, long time, and this is so fitting that it comes back in Mushoku Tensei, for a long, long time, I have avoided expressing force upon the world. I don't like power. I don't like authority very much. My attitude toward it is like, well, who am I to express force upon the world, to push things in a direction that I want, to affect change? It feels so arrogant to me. But then I look around and I see that the people who are doing so are not doing so in ways that I think are right, or correct, or good. And so the question, who am I to, falls apart when everyone else is ignoring that question and causing chaos and harm. Who am I to? Well, I'm me, and I'm enough. And if I believe in myself, and if I believe that I'm unlikely to be swayed from a self-defined virtuous path, then my fear for moving toward power or success or wealth or whatever it is evaporates. I can trust myself to that degree. I can acquire those powers without worrying that I'm going to cause great harm with them, I think. It's a scary thing to think about, but I've come right up against it and realized that if I don't change something in my life, in my attitude toward the world, in my willingness to exert force upon reality, to manifest change through pressure, to use the strength that I've built internally to push things into alignment around me. If I don't do that, then I'm going to be continuously at the whims of fate and this world. And this world is not fair. This world is not that kind. So, a while ago, I swore an oath here in front of the camera with a little pair of scissors. I swore an oath to fight against particular ideas And that oath swearing is like the first step toward being what I am, which is a bit of a paladin, a bit of a fighter for what's right. But I haven't pursued anything further down that goal. I haven't been trying to actively level up or increase my skill or power. Now I am. Now I am. I have reasons to. I have reasons to. I don't want to be caught incapable again. I want to be able to, and it's so silly because this whole channel to me is a shonen protagonist journey. From the outset, you can find videos where I talk about modeling my own perspective and my own journey and my own pathway after the shonen protagonists that I find most compelling. I talked about it in Mushoku Tensei. There's a short video of it called Protagonism, that people have made a ton of fun of and been like, you sound like a cult leader. It's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to psych myself up. It's fine. I'm not trying to convince anybody else necessarily. That's not true. I am trying to convince other people because I think it's really valuable and important, but I'm not trying to form a cult or anything like that. Still, that journey is a powerful one that I identify with strongly. And one of the core aspects of that journey is a character who goes, oh man, I need the power to protect the people around me. I need the ability. I need to be strong enough. I guess I'm not strong enough. Having that realization is, damn it hurts. Because I've been working so hard to become stronger. But the realization is that the strength and the internal stability and the sort of rock solidness that I've constructed and gotten much better at since we left off on Mushoku Tensei. I'm much more sober and solid and stable, which is all really good stuff. I'm also healthier, and I've been over some injuries and some hell, and I've overcome it, and it feels, maybe we'll talk about it if it comes up, but I feel really good, physically and mentally and in pretty much every way. So it's time to push against what's around me. I'm not going to be, I hope, I'm not going to be too self-helpy or pushy or preachy as we move forward in Mushoku Tensei, but I'm on a learning journey, and it's shocking to me how much of my learning journey has come from or been mirrored or echoed by the stories that we've been experiencing. Whether it was Cyberpunk Edgerunners or Bocchi the Rock or Mushoku Tensei and Rudy's journey, there's this wovenness, this interconnectedness between me and media, and between the way that my life runs and the way that the stories show me, that if I were not so skeptical, if I were not such a deep skeptic, I would maybe attribute it to something more ethereal or ephemeral than just coincidence. Of course, I know that it is just coincidence in the fact that Rifujin wrote a story that's universalizable to the experiences of a young man, but still, man, it feels fucking wild. It feels wild. So with all that blathered, and with this little drawing drawn, a little femme at the end of a dark tunnel, and maybe with the graphite off of my hand, we'll get there in a sec, we will start off on part 2 of season 2. Perhaps I should not have wiped my wet hands on my shirt. Too late. Too late now. Okay. And too late to go back now. We're in it. We're in it, folks. Mushoku Tensei season 2. Part 2. We're here for it. This is fun. There are a bunch of fun things that are going on about this. I'm really glad to be back for it. It's been a while. We'll see how production smashes up. There were some fiddly things in part 1 of season 2, which I did get some explanations from some people about. I can't remember exactly what they are. They're kind of muddled in with all the other shows that I've been told have had horrible production schedules and stuff. I mean, I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 right now. That's a thing. I'm watching season 2 of ReZero right now, which is doubly interesting because 1, it had some terrible production stuff in that season in particular, and 2, because it's the same show. It's like the same show. No, it's not the same show at all. And there's a dramatic difference, but the authors are friends and have worked together in a lot of ways and are aligned in some interesting bits and bobs. So that's pretty cool. And also a lot of the people from Studio White Fox that were working on ReZero moved over to working on this at Studio Pine. So we sort of stole them from one to the other, and I get both sides of that. I get the loss of quality in one, and maybe the gain in quality in another. Ooh. But overall, I'm I'm glad to be back in a generally beautifully rendered world that has had some real impact on me. As I started looking back on it, because I gotta put away a show when it's done. I gotta put it away, and then if a new season of it comes back out and I decide to watch it, I've got to pull it back out and have some leeway with me. Let me have some grace in terms of forgetting things and making mistakes. It's gonna happen, especially now that it's crossed over with another big dramatic romantic isekai thing in ReZero. I might fuck shit up. I'm so sorry. Have a little bit of understanding for me, please, but do point out anything that I get dramatically wrong, because I don't want to go forward being wrong. Just be nice about it. Thank you. I'm not trying to fuck it up. I'm just an idiot. Okay? And that's something we should get out of the way. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm gonna blather. I'm gonna talk. I'm just an idiot, and I enjoy the shows, and that's the whole of it. I'm not right usually. That's not true. I am usually right, but I'm not going to hold strong to that, and I am willing to discuss ideas. And I'm looking forward to comment spotlights, maybe for Mushoku coming back. We'll see how y'all do in the comments. Maybe they'll be interesting. Maybe you'll suck. I don't know. But there's, it's good to be back. I keep thinking about, or I kept as I was going through and dredging up my memories of this show, realizing how much interesting stuff is in it, and comparing it, because I can't help but compare it to ReZero, which we've been watching more recently. And the thought that I've come away with is that ReZero feels like a light novel. It feels a little bit cartoonish in that way. A little more young adulty. Mushoku feels more like a novel. Feels closer to like a Game of Thrones than it does to like a ReZero. Does that make sense? That's not necessarily to say that they're in different total worlds, different tiers or whatever, but in terms of vibe and feeling, especially in the shows, I think, the depth and care and beauty of the world, the descriptions and prettiness and solidity and meaning and symbology of everything is pretty next level in Mushoku, in a way that I find really cool and valuable. Anyway, all this to say, I'm interested in seeing how we feel about this first bit of this second half of the season. Just had a beautiful rediscovery interaction with Sylphitz, and then got permission from Ariel to be together, and what are you going to do next is the question that got leveled, and Rudy had some pretty cool answers to it that I think are really great. Now, as for predicting the future, I do want to throw something out there. A couple things. There's a lot of wild, unknown stuff in this world, but I think I'm pretty confident about something. And it's a sad, scary thing, but I think I'm pretty confident about it. I think at some point in the moderate to near future, our beautiful reunion of Sylphie and Rudy is going to be forcibly split by something. And I'm really not looking forward to it because it feels a little bit too close to home at present. But I'm worried that there will be this tone over all of our joyous union of like, when's the shoe gonna drop? Maybe that's just me projecting, because I feel like bad things happen to follow up good things too often to not be afraid. But I do feel like there's quite a potential there. Maybe. Then again, we already have one damsel in distress. Rudy's mother is out there, entrapped, and in a bad way. Time to go and save her, for sure. But there are many, many moving pieces in this world, and I'm uncertain where our camera will focus. For now, it seems clear that we will start where we left off, with a newly formed, beautiful relationship between childhood friends. And then we'll move from there. So I will say thank you so much for joining me for this first episode of Season 2, Part 2 of Mushoku Tensei. I am so glad to have you along, and so glad to be back in general. Let's get to it. I've got the episode Mott Bob version up and ready to go. It's at 0 second. There will be two versions, picture-in-picture version in the description, timer-based version up on YouTube. You're currently watching it. Timer-based version will have a beep beep timer. It'll go boop 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 beep, and on the beep in the green light, that's the point when I push the button. So if you push the button at the same time that I push the button, then our buttons get pushed at the same time and the whole thing syncs. It's like magic. Early access. It's available on the Patreon. It's cheap. It's good. I recommend it. Of course I do. I have an ulterior motive, but so do the well over 1,000 people who are also members of the Patreon. They also recommend it. So yeah, please check it out. It does a lot to enable me. It does everything actually to enable me to keep doing this. It's the way that this works. And I'll say thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now for the episode. Episode 1 or episode 13, however you want to view it. That is what it is, right? Yep. Season 2 of Mushoku Tensei. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to have you. Good to see you. Let's get going. Beep beep timer. We're back. Oh, it's pretty. It's okay. Ah, the shrine. Wait, what's in that box? I actually have immediately forgotten what's in the box. I feel stupid. I feel so dramatically stupid. Welcome back to magic school. Oh, hello, little dwarf. Grandmaster. Oh. Oh. Yeah. No. Rudy, no. You have... Alright, he'll never get over it. He'll never get over it. Oh, they don't get it. His libido is back. Uh-oh, that's a problem. I got the boom boom. I got the boom boom. It's good. Vibe. I just had sex, and it felt so good, Woman, let me put my penis inside of her. Ooh. I just had sex, yeah. No. And I'll never go back to the not having sex ways of the past. Have you ever had sex? I haven't. Felt great. It felt so good when I did it with my penis. A girl let me do it. It literally just happened. Alright, I'm sorry. I know the feeling, man. God. Oh, wow, it's going. Mm-hmm. Not a Hoshi place? Yeah. Target acquired. Ooh. A way home. Such a hard ass. Ah, got her. Stupid mask. Orsted? Orsted? No, was in an argument at home. I forgot that part. See, that's what I mean. I'm gonna need leeway. Time together then. Pretty. Ooh. Something I need to do for... Ooh, what's up, girl? Hey, how you doing? Damn right. Marry her and put multiple babies inside her? That was what you wanted, right? Oh, yeah, it is. That is... I don't know. I mean, you're gonna have to find a court or something. Yeah, you're a prince. You should know shit. Wait, what? You need a house? What? What? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, it's gonna make total sense to him, though. No, you don't need a house, bro. Oh. Stop taking advice from your friends. Stop it. Fucking stop, Rudy. Yeah, pass. That's cute. That's cute, though. Oh, housing. Ooh, mentions. Yeah, and how much money do you have? I forget how wealthy Rudy is. So pretty high class. Yeah, thinking about all these bits. No, you need a tiny cottage. Maybe an apartment, actually, would be good. Maybe an apartment would be good. No, you should have communicated beforehand in the first place. Maybe she doesn't even want a house. Maybe she doesn't even want a house. You're gonna find a haunted mansion. Guaranteed. You're gonna find a haunted fucking mansion. It's the only thing. It's the only way. Oh, Zodaba, of course he carries just a stone club. I wondered if he manifests that. Oh boy. It was nice before it got destroyed. Murders? Curses! It's a haunted house! Oh shit! Huh. This is a shithole. This is a shithole. Walk away, Rudy. It's not worth. Alright, we're gonna clear it out. Damn. This place is fucked. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I guess it isn't a cold climate, so like the likelihood of termites or dry rot is low, so fundaments might be okay. But no, it's not worth it. Look, there's literal lichen growing on the stairs. Don't walk away. It's a hazard. Cool. House clearing. Yeah, let's exorcise the ghost. I wonder if there's just a person living in here. What if it's geese? Geese just pops out of the fireplace. What's up? Been murdered, people. What's up? What do you want? Seems pretty chill. I guess the foundations are stone and brick, so... It's gotta be at night when the ghosts come out. Maybe it's a thieves' guild or something. Homies are important. Yeah. Yeah, smart. I love getting these internal monologues. Ooh. Ooh. Everybody's got their girls. Oh, right, he's fucking Alenalise. I forgot. I forgot. I forgot that that's happening. Damn. Damn. That's so cute. That's so cute. It's still working. Oh, here it goes. A secret door. Cool. I'm a spoopy oopy. Oh yeah, we're doing monsters POV. Not gonna reveal. Ooh, gurgly noises. Maybe it's a hungry child. Don't sleep on the... This does feel like a setup for it being actually really silly. Maybe not, though. Maybe Cliff is gonna get destroyed. Hey, buddy. Be very careful. He might strangle you. Dude, this is lovely. This is so tense. Music's crazy. He should have before it moves, right? Squad, horror squad. Is it up there? Oh no! This is rad and spooky. But now we're gonna get trapped down here. We're gonna get trapped. Somebody hold the door! Oh, they're missing the secret door as well? They missed the secret door as well! It might already be in there! Ooh! Now I'm spooked. This is spooky. Okay, they were all together, so it's not a body thief. Unless it's a mimic. Is it under there? Oh, hello, fingies! I've seen this hentai. Sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa! Movement! Ah! That got me. That was good. That got me. That was great. Oh, that's horrifying. Oh, no. It looks awesome. Anybody? Anybody? Zanaba? Punch? Yeah, drills! Oh, that didn't do anything. What is it? Oh, that's the future bits. Yeah, Zanaba! Oh my god, no, Zanaba! What the fuck? Holy shit, thank God for Zanaba. Yeah, yeah! Good job, Cliff! Korewa, korewa! Huh, maybe it's not a cursed spirit. Okay, we're going for many drills. What has he realized? What has he realized? Is it like a stone golem or something? What's he noticed? Is it mechanical? Oh, it shredded itself. It shredded its own arms against it. That's so sick. Zanaba's so cool. Then you splain. Then you be splainin'. Oh, shit. He is rocked. Yeah, you did great. Good job. Yeah. Pat. Oh, dude, spooked the fuck out of me. That was great. I haven't been jump scared in a long time. That actually got me. The slow build to it. Fuck. I wonder what was animating it. You know, the straight through. We just need a maid outfit. A moving murder doll. That is powerful. Stupid idiots. You stupid fucking idiots. You weirdos. Like what? Don't crush his head, don't crush his head, don't crush his head! Oh shit, don't crush his head, dude. But I want to crush his head! They just need to find where it came from, and there's probably a lab in there or something. Yeah! That's what I was thinking. There might be an artificer's workshop or something. A creepy one, but... Oh, he's just healing his head. The little bits, man. Cool, so we go all the way up to high climax horror, and we drop down to exploration. And discovery. That's cool. Ugh. Oh. Oh, it's just a little study and a little place for it to sit. Cool. Oh, it looks like a charging place. Looks like a charging port. It's got little gems embedded in it. I wonder if there are gems on the other side, like a little, you know. Lots of skeleton stuff. So individual runes all over it for different animations. Yeah. Hey, it makes for a cheap house. Maybe killed by its doll. I'm interested in those, like, skeletal anatomy drawings as well. Mission complete! Yeah, for the most part. Plus, you know, access to long-term... just the whole pedestal. God, it's so good to have a strong boy. We're friends. Yay. I want it. Yeah. Of course he wants it. You're not allowed to fuck the doll. Yep. But you love dolls. It drags on. But please. He's got other stuff to do. He's the strongest of them and it can't hurt him. Yeah. Yeah, he's the strongest of you and it couldn't hurt him before. Dude is carrying it and a... So sweet. Serious voice acting, too. Very cool. Yeah, you ask like that. Nice. Delegation of authority. Yeah, I wonder what the legality of it is. Well, it's gonna need some fixing up, my guy. Ooh, we're gonna take her there. It's a present. It's a secret. Ooh, what is it? I don't know. Yeah, I called out. Called out. Cute. Too cute, actually. 3 cute. What's gonna go horribly wrong? Something's gonna go horribly wrong. Oh, wow. How did we fix it up so good? Money. And magic. It's a pretty sick house, honestly. Oh, and the windows match, too. Oh! Oh! With white on top, too? Like snow covering it as well? Oh! This hurts. This hurts. This hurts. That's so cute. Why do I have the sinking feeling like they're never going to be able to live in this house together? At least not for right now. Oh, playing kitchen. It's pretty nice. The fuck room? Sorry. Yes! Oh, you know. Oh, you know it. Like going with werewolf Little Red Riding Hood goofs. That's God fucking cute. And they just oh. Yeah, what a weird place to start. I mean, it's great. Might have been putting the cart before the Yeah, that's what we had to discuss. That's a little further along. Yeah, the basics for now. Okay. Okay. Because you can't dedicate all your time? It's okay that you still have a job. We'll see what that ends up being. Yeah, she was not displeased with the roughness, though. She was happy. Roxy and Eris, but nobody thinks that you're good enough. Ah, nobody thinks they're good enough. That's so cute. That's so cute. I know that feel. Of being told that somebody doesn't feel like they're worthy. And just being like, what? What are you talking about? Okay. Scary bits in there. For sure. They exist. They're scary. Damn right. That's how you gotta do it. Don't just vanish. Oh, I hope so. How very scary. What a very scary thing to say. Almost foreshadowing, maybe even. So now in a room surrounded by windows. My dream home. And we're gonna do it! We're gonna get married! We're gonna have a wedding reception! God, it's so cute! This whole episode is, like, sickly cute. Okay, that's not true. The first half is honestly a really fun little mini horror move thing that I found really enjoyable. The whole thing works extraordinarily well for me, for bringing us back into the circumstance and sort of reintroducing characters. This little sequence where he walks through and just says good morning to everybody, I think is pivotal for bringing me back up to speed and like, oh yeah, these characters, oh yeah, Cliff is there, oh yeah, and Lisa, and like, oh yeah, and this, and oh yeah, the girls, and oh yeah, the Julie, and oh yeah, Zanoba, and a bunch of things that I just would not have been able to remember. We bookend it with Sylphie gave up something precious to help me, so I'm going to do something in return. I finally feel human again is such a vibe. It's so weird. So I'll speak about this at short, the opposite of at length. I went through a long dry spell and then I had sex. And my impressions were, wow, that's really fun and really good and totally not what I built it up to be. Like, damn. So interesting how distance from it makes it seem more spectacular and mystical than it is. And don't get me wrong, it's wonderful and there are lots of great elements to it, not least of which is like just being close to somebody does wonders for your cortisol levels, and inhaling somebody else's pheromones does all sorts of things for you. It's a ton of good stuff. Being in sexual or romantic or intimate contact with another person is awesome. It does make you feel human again, but it's not the be all and end all. And if you're in the period of not experiencing it, or you can't get it, or whatever, it's okay. It's okay. It's not everything. It's not everything. But I still understand this feeling. I still absolutely understand this feeling, and I'm not looking forward to being back in Deadland. Ugh, it sucks so much. Okay, overall quality of episodes. In terms of flow and composition, it's great. Backgrounds, too, are great. Overall feel and crispness isn't there. Like, it's there, it's as good as it's going to be, but it's that same aspect that I'm just going to have to get used to. We've got this sort of grain filter over everything, and it makes all the lines look a little bit like fuzzier and everything feel like it's almost a little bit out of focus. It doesn't actually detract from the quality of animation and style that's there, but it feels to me like it does. It feels like it's lower definition or lower quality than it could otherwise be. But I'll get used to it. Oh so fast. Like here, for example, there's fuzziness to everything, right? It's still crisp. It's meant to be this way. This is intentional, but there is fuzziness to everything. And looking at it compared to some of the crispier shows that I've been watching, it feels a little bit different. It's interesting. It's just a different set of stylistic choices. But then you look at like background lighting and overall feel and the way that things are composited as well as composed, and we're a notch above. This is a couple notches above most of what we've been watching in terms of modern animation on the channel, and that's really good to be here for. Oh boy, he is back, and it is dangerous, and every female person in miles should be worried about it. Good, as it should be. Bursting with confidence. Indeed, a certain ailment has been cured. I got fucked. I got banged. Yeah! Good job, Rudy. I'm so glad for him. I love Cliff doesn't seem to get it, but I think we could take it as like maybe he does get it, and so from the perspective of somebody who's been with Alina-Lise, he's like, how hard for you, how difficult, sir, how difficult. I'm on the other end of that spectrum for sure. The other end of the spectrum being drained dry. Good job, Cliff. Keep it up. I mean, seriously, try to keep it up. Good luck. They don't have little blue pills here. I guess they have aphrodisiac juice, so it's good enough. But yeah, good luck, buddy. Every girl is in heat. Even interacting with Nanahoshi about it, pretty cool. I do forget this, that Nanahoshi had somebody at home who was interrupted in the middle of a conversation. It's just wiped from my memory. Sorry. Good that it's here and sprinkled in, so that's important. Also, the dynamic with Nanahoshi is sprinkled in, and that's important. The little from behind the mask is so so high school girl-y. Damn. Summoned in the middle of an argument. Just work. And all I want is for him to be here with me. Cute and important, and maybe something to be learned from that. There's an element here of Rudy not knowing what is exactly expected of him. And because he and Sylphie are both new to this, like even his attempts at like, can we communicate more openly and honestly and seriously so that I know what I'm doing, don't necessarily go anywhere because Sylphie doesn't necessarily know what she needs or wants to communicate and stuff. It's one of the pitfalls of like opening the floor to communication, always good. But if you open the floor to communication and both parties aren't like aware of what communication might entail, or willing or have the internal wherewithal or strength or whatever to communicate effectively and talk about what they want, or they feel embarrassed during that conversation, then the parts that are most important might not come out. So it's like always good to open the floor to communication, but there is groundwork that has to be laid before that or during it or whatever, that so that you feel not only safe, but like really safe and really capable of expressing what you need. It's like, it's cool and it's important, but it's fleshed out in a way where I get the feeling that Rudy might flail and try to do things that he thinks that will help Sylphie or will be useful or whatever. But if you don't communicate those or think those through from the other person's perspective really effectively, sometimes you can do things that don't line up, if that makes sense. Like going and buying the house and stuff ends up being really cool, but he went and kind of did it on his own, and it might not have been the right thing for the circumstance. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I have this worry that the gung-ho-ness toward the relationship, not married to like really solid communication about what's very effective for both parties, might lead them to ships crossing in the night relationally. But I'm worried about nothing. I'm just worried that the other shoe's gonna drop. I'm worried that these like letters to Paul are gonna turn into like a letter back that gets horrible and we have to split and leave, or that something really serious is going to happen and Rudy will be forced to leave without Sylphie in a way that makes that final promise at the end of the episode no longer true. That's the kind of thing that really scares me from a writing perspective. Good to see these folks. What's up, Luke? What's up, Ariel? What's up, Sylphie? The little catching each other across the place in little ways are so cute. Aww. Since she helped me, now it's my turn to do what she wants is also interesting because it's transactional, right? It assumes, and so does the stuff later, it still comes from this place of like, Sylphie having sex with me was maybe a sacrifice for Sylphie, or like a good thing that Sylphie did for me that took effort from her. And that's not really what happened there. Like Sylphie was desperately interested as well, and it wasn't like a gift or like a sacrifice or something. It's mutualistic. It's not like, man, I really have a debt I need to repay. Now that's how he feels, and that sort of a feeling can be really powerful because you want a relationship where both parties want to do nice things for each other. And if that stems from a feeling of being indebted, then fine. But we'd rather that stemmed from a feeling of just wanting to do nice things for each other and no coup counting, no tally being kept. I'm a big proponent of this, or like disproponent of the opposite. Counting coup or keeping a tally of like, I did this for you and you did that for me is the start of a really negative pattern of relationship. It's not the way we want this to work. Let's start it at definitional friendship. Okay, APA, because this is what I used before when we talked about it. A voluntary relationship between two or more people that is relatively long-lasting and in which those involved tend to be concerned with meeting the other's needs and interests as well as satisfying their own desires. Okay? Friendships frequently develop through shared experiences in which the people involved learn that their association with one another is mutually gratifying. Okay, so the interest is in meeting the other person's needs as well as satisfying your own. So there might be needs that you have that the other person can fulfill, but the motive toward the friendship, the motivation at its core, is the desire to meet the other person's needs. From whence that comes, less important, not part of the definition, but that it comes, the desire to meet their needs as a priority for them without a tally, not because you feel indebted to them, not because they earned it, not because they deserve it, but because you want to meet their needs, you want to assist them, because it comes from a place of that desire, that affectionate altruism. That's friendship. That's what it is. That's where it is. If it comes from a place of she did X for me, now I must do Y for her, that can lead into it. Like that, it's adjacent, but it's a little twisty. It's a little twisty-turny, and it's not my favorite. It demonstrates again that he's new to this. He's not experienced here. He's still fiddly. He's still questioning everything, and he's not certain. And it's really important. It's really important, I think, because and I think really cool to show us. It gives us the room to learn these aspects and to fail. And that's the journey that we're on in Mushoku Tensei, isn't it? This is a journey of continuous failure and learning and growth. And that's the way. First, you need a house. I think that these are not the right people to ask. How can you get married if you don't even have a house? You just do. You just do. Now, if you're going to be having kids or you're planning to live together, it's a different circumstance. But, like, both of them have rooms in the dorms. Like, both of them have places that they could live. They could just keep doing that and get married still. But I understand it's part of the picture. It's part of the dream and the goal and the setting and the postcard, right? It's like the imagistic representation of what marriage means. And that's what we're moving toward. We're moving toward this, like, this internalized representation of what marriage and what connection and what romance and what relationships mean that isn't necessarily negotiated between the two parties in an effective way toward what they actually want and toward fulfilling their actual direct needs. It's instead pushing toward the goal, which is this external force, this external factor set up by other people that isn't necessarily aligned with what either of them want. That's cool. It's fine to use a third-party baseline. Obviously, if it works for a lot of people, it might work for you. There is a reason that, like, let's say, committed, monogamous, heterosexual relationships for the purposes of procreation and raising children in a single-family home with, like, a school nearby and all that stuff, and maybe a dog and a white picket fence. There's a reason that those things work for people. Gives you the stability to feel like you have a nuclear family and all this jazz, and the actual physical stability to have the home and a place to live and to make your own and a space for all that stuff. It all works. It makes sense, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It shouldn't necessarily be, like, the outset of the goal. So a lot of what Rudy is doing is not navigating the relationship that he has with Sylphie as a unique relationship that he has with Sylphie, but instead navigating it as, this is an important relationship and I have to do everything right. Do you see what the difference is there? I think that's really important. It's not what would be right for Sylphie and for me, it's what's right in the broader social context. And if I check all those boxes, then things will go well. But very often, and you'll see this in reality, all you got to do is look at the modern divorce rate. Seriously, all you got to do is look at the modern divorce rate. Moving toward a picture-perfect goal does not make the fundaments come together. The fundaments of the relationship are not the house and the dog and the kids and the fence. Getting those pictures, those imagistic representations, the pieces that you see on Instagram, the pieces that you see on magazine covers, all locked together, doesn't do the rest of it. The rest of it is the start, and those things are the emergence. The house and the dog and the happy family, those are emergent properties toward a healthy, well-functioning relationship at the center. And if you try to reverse it, you're very literally putting the cart before the horse, and the whole thing isn't going to run. It's a part of why the divorce rate is so high. People rush into this imagistic representation at a time in their life that seems right because people tell them it's the right time and maybe the right person, or at least you're not going to have another person. No chance for you. Good luck. You're going to get too old, right? And so you got to check the boxes. You need a house that you can't afford and a mortgage that takes away most of your income, 2 cars in the garage, both of which you can't afford and take away more of your income, kids that you're not ready for because you're not actually settled and stable together, dogs and pets and animals and other responsibilities that you're additionally not ready for because the two of you haven't settled and aren't really actually responsible adults and haven't figured out your real interactions with each other in a meaningful way. People rush like this. And throwing all that, putting that all aside, like Sylphie and Rudy maybe are meant for each other. Maybe there's some fate element here that's really serious. And yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool, but it feels very rushed to me. Very rushed to me. And that makes me worried because rushing into seriousness is a way to get seriously hurt or to seriously hurt the person you care about. And it's quite possible. I mean, Rudy is one day out and he's staring at other women. No, he's not. I'm not against this, right? Like, neat. They're hot and he can see it. Neat. But it's a little fiddly. It's a little fiddly. How much are we rushing? You think maybe getting instantly married to the person who takes your V card back might be a bad idea? Especially since we know and understand how, like, deeply connected and terribly destructive making big, broad decisions right after having sex with somebody can be. You know? Like, we should have learned that. But now it's the opposite side of the decision. It's like things are going well, so let's smash it all together and lock it all down so that we never get that fear again. Never get that fear again. Never have a breakup again. Married. Solid. Feels forced. It's pretty. It's super cute. The two of them are great together. But the timing's weird. It's rushed. And it's forced. I'm getting more iffy toward it as we move along. It's interesting. Gotta get a house. I can give you a blessing. This is so cool that we go into this space and we're looking at house layouts and stuff. Architectural plans and diagrams. Super neat. I really like this. Maybe I should have brought Sylphie with me. No, I've got to show her she can count on me. Is another layer of like, no, I have to do this on my own without telling her. Otherwise, I'll ruin it. Ruining the surprise doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I talked about this just a short time ago when it came to gift giving. I can't remember what show we were in. Might have been in ReZero. It's probably in ReZero. We were talking about gift giving. Oh, no, it was Free Ren. We were talking about gift giving, and I am a huge proponent of talking explicitly about gifts. I fucking hate buying gifts for people without knowing what they want, and I fucking hate when people buy me gifts without knowing what I want, because they buy me random crap that I just feel bad that they bought me, and I don't want. It sucks. It's balls. Communicate. The way you can show that somebody can count on you is by communicating with them, and then following through on what you've communicated. Is it bad in this situation? No, it's not bad, but it's in that same realm. It's like, I have to do this on my own. I have to prove myself. It's forced. This is so cool. I love the squad going out to clear the home. I hate the look of the home. Oh my god. But then, additionally, I love it as we move into this horror segment. It ends up being really cool. Hilarious at first, but then really cool. As we actually go through the locations, we start mixing in these POV shots that bring our perspective down a little bit and tighten our focus in. The music ends up being super wonderful all the way through, and then a little bit more spooky as we get a little bit later. And then the darkness comes. And we do one of my favorite techniques. It's actually one of my favorite techniques. It's monster POV. We're just in the POV of the monster, right? And we hear some gurgly weird noises that make it seem like it's a beast monster or something, which it's not. It's an automaton. It's a doll made of like rocks and stuff. It's not. So it's all misdirection. It's all to fuck with us a little bit, but it builds and it builds and it builds. And, seeing from the monster's perspective and not seeing the monster builds up tension, and we can't see what it is. And this is classic horror movie stuff. Classic horror movie awesomeness. And it demonstrates once again that the staff on this show knows how to manipulate us emotionally. And I'll take that to a further degree as we move all the way through and they check the space again. We're looking up and there are these little hands. We hold it and we focus in, and the hands disappear. And then we jump scare. Bam! I gotta see it again. I'm gonna turn it way down. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I want to see the hands disappear. Okay, hands disappear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds, almost exactly. Which is too long. That's too long. That's why it works. I think that's why it works. Okay. 3 seconds is about what you'd expect for something to feel right. Okay? If you're going to have a moment happen and then another moment happen, 3 seconds is about right. So if the hands disappear, disappear. 1, 2, now. That's when you'd expect it, but it's not then. It's 1, 2. Now? No, I guess not. Maybe we're safe. Yeah, we're safe. Oh, fuck! It's brilliant. Classic, simple, straightforward. Brilliant. Can't knock it. It works every time. Well, I mean, kind of. Man, what a cool looking cut, too. I really like the way that this warbly, forbly thing looks. I don't know who did that. Pretty cool. And then beautiful Zanoba is here, and the fight ends up being neat, and Zanoba's impenetrable, and that's really wonderful. Exorcism, of course, doesn't work. Please don't fight it. It's a beautiful doll. It's a beautiful doll. And then they get to be overwhelmed about the ideas of making a moving doll. Mecha maids, robot maids. So, we find something really neat and cool. We're going to take it home. I love this piece of book. It's so nice. It's so neat. Like, I guess, I don't know. I wonder what kinds of design elements are going on here. It looks to me like this side is what the simplified version of the human body. Yeah? And then this side is like an actual accurate diagram. So it's then taking like, this is what a human hand actually looks like, and then being like, what we would do to manifest that toward a mechanical doll sort of thing would be something like this, make the feet a little bit more square and blocky, and, you know, make things more simplified and stuff. Either way, it feels right. It feels like it's actually got the information to it that would be needed to make the diagrams for this doll and stuff. So cool. What a cool element. I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. If Zanoba ends up being like Battle King with like an army of little mini dolls that are all around to fucking fight everybody, that would be a sick place for Zanoba to be. Hell, he could carry a giant box around with him that just contains like 4 folded up dolls and just deploy drones. Be a battlefield commander who's also the strongest. Take doll and like throw doll into the middle of your enemies. Dude. Zanoba plus dolls. Super OP. Super OP. Super fun. This is also really cute from Zanoba. His voice actor kills it here. When he really starts screaming. Yeah, that emotion is striking. The whole cast does really well. It's okay. So overall, this is just me reacclimating to the vibe of Mushoku and the level of quality that's on display here. It's pretty high. Animation, maybe not. Like, there are a couple of cuts, just the doll running and stuff, that are really stellar. But overall look, great. Overall sound, excellent. Overall flow and composition and compositing, stellar. And then from questioning and establishing scenes to horror and curiosity to cuteness and romance, we cover a lot of bases over this episode. I don't know how we got this place fixed up so well. It was a shithole, and now it looks gorgeous. That must have been twice as expensive as the actual house itself to get it fixed up. But man, what a cute thing. The little embrace while fake cutting vegetables. And the fuck room. The fuck room! It's important. It's so important. But the talk is the most important. What are we gonna do? And it is really good. And it allays a lot of my fears about the way that Rudy's approaching this. This allays a lot of my fears, because the talk is really good. One of the other things that is striking about the talk is how kind of neither of these people think that they deserve each other, which is really cute. It's, I think, and I've said before, I think one of the ways to found a really strong relationship is that if both people think the other person is out of their league, you get this kind of lovely mutualism, because both of you are like, ooh, I gotta measure up. I gotta do enough to measure up to this wonderful person. And then they're doing the same thing, and so you just sort of virtuous cycle your way into loving each other more. That's super cute and cool. But at the same time, she helped me with something specific. I was rough about it. She never showed any sign of it. So she's earned it, right? Like, she deserves it, is like in my mind. But if she isn't good enough, whoever could be? I don't know, I can think of 2 other multicolored gals who are pretty cool, who've been really important to you. I have no right. Nope. We're gonna get married. We're gonna get married, and I want it, and you want it. And we can talk it through as we go. Pretty fucking crucial. The one thing is, don't leave me. Scary foreshadowing. But we can try. We sure can try. Wow! Okay, a solid reintroduction to the story and world and setting and people and cast and characters of Mushoku Tensei. What a joy to be back. I'm very glad. Thank you so much for joining me for this first episode. We will move on and watch more episodes shortly. But for now, this will be the start of things, and I'll just leave it there, because it's pretty perfect and cute and sweet and solid. So I will say thank you so much for joining me for this first episode. You can get the next episode or episodes, however many we watch, I don't know, a little bit early on the Patreon, linked in the description. Otherwise, I will see you back here on YouTube in 1 week for the second of Mushoku Monday. It's only gonna be for a little bit. We got this core, and that'll be that. But I'm still very excited to see where we go with this story. Thanks for joining me. See you next week for more, or right now on the Patreon if you want to head there. Much love. Peace.